want you to know that I'm not ready to fall.
Right back here on KCR College Radio and KCRLive.com. And the band you're hearing right now is a band by the name of Blue Sky Reality, and they were an up-and-coming band about 2 or 3 years ago. They were signed by Universal Motown Records. They were just finishing up their second tour, opening for Third Eye Blind. Most of you know and have heard about that band. They were just about finished with their first record and on the verge of signing a major publishing deal, but unfortunately on December 26th, 2009, their bassist Philip Bloom suffered an extremely bad car accident, nearly fatal, and we're privileged to be joined right here on Anything Goes by Philip Bloom himself. Philip, thanks for joining the program. How you doing on this Tuesday night?
Good, man. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us, Philip. I mean, it's certainly a crazy story. Horrific car accident. You suffer numerous injuries, nearly catastrophic, as I said. You end up having to undergo 9 stomach surgeries, 1 back surgery, 2 elbow surgeries, and you're still almost 2 years later recovering from this horrific car accident. You were in the hospital for 6 months following the car accident. That spanned 3 different hospitals, and now you're still doing some physical therapy and trying to just get back to some sense of normalcy. First, right off the bat, like I said, about 2 years removed from the accident, what's the status of your health right now?
Well, as of right now, I like to think I'm healthy and doing better. I'm in a wheelchair. I'm technically a paraplegic, what they would call as an L2 complete, which is a lumbar injury. I like to keep hope and say it's not a complete injury, so one day I will be able to walk. But as of that, I mean, I'm still working out all the time and focusing on my health. It's really my job right now is my recovery. They say, like, for every stomach surgery, it's about 6 months to it to heal, so still got some time until that gets better. But, I mean, other than that, I'm always working on something towards my health. So, I mean, basically what I'm up to right now. A lot of physical therapy and working out and still doing a lot of music and living the dream, I guess.
All right, and take us just through the accident from what you remember. What was it like and what happened that day? Oh,
I remember it all. Well, my brother and I, he was trying to get me to go to Vegas for a while because I was on tour for my 21st birthday. And he wanted to take me to Vegas, so finally December, we go to Vegas, and we're on the way home, and I let him drive my car. I was in the back seat, and he was trying to pass someone, and the person sped up, so we couldn't get back over, and the person that was behind us wouldn't let us back over, so we were kind of stuck on what to do. So he pulled over to the other side of the shoulder, and as we're slowing down, I guess the car ahead of us coming towards us was attracted to our lights, basically like a deer in the headlights, and just we hit straight on. And as soon as we hit, I lost feeling from my waist and below, and I was strangled by my seatbelt, and that's the cause of my stomach injuries. So I have a pretty nasty scar on my stomach, and I was waiting there for it seemed like hours, and I think it was about an hour till they used the jaws of life to get me out of there. But I remember everything about it until they dragged me out and I passed out, and I'm alive. So that's
knock on wood. I mean, it's, as you were explaining, it's just a horrific kind of makes you cringe when you hear the story. And in fact, I mean, you and I have known each other for quite some time, but I haven't actually heard the story in depth like that. Even though, like I said, we've known each other. This is something that Philip, when I originally heard about this accident and kind of what you were going through, and I think a lot of people were curious about this, and it takes, I would say, some guts to ask this question. So kind of excuse maybe the sensitivity of this question, but to what extent did the car accident affect your relationship with your brother?
You know what? It's a fair question. I don't mind at all. My brother and I were really close before. Even growing up, I can't recall one time we ever got into a fight, and he's always been there for me. I've always been there for him. And, the first month, obviously, I was fed up, and I didn't want to look at him. I was in the hospital, and, the first week I was on life support, so I don't remember any of that. But after that, I know supposedly he came in a few times, and I remember saying, I don't want to see him, and I know he understood. And at the end of it all, he he's my brother. I love him. You know, I can't. It's not his fault for what happened. Yes, he was behind the wheel, but you know, you can't change that. And so after about a month and a half in the hospital, we finally started talking, and you know, we started going to family therapy. We had therapy when I was in the hospital, and now, I mean, as of now, we're close, just as close as we were before. So we're great, actually. I mean, I would never think that would happen, but you know, everyone always wonders because it's that kind of situation. It's a family that was behind the wheel, but we love each other, so I can't hold any grudge against them for that.
That's great to hear. Definitely a process, but that's really great to hear. In terms of this band, that I've listened to some of the music and it's great. I'm just curious how the band reacted to this accident, you know, immediately after it happened.
Well, I mean, obviously it was a shock for everyone. My best friend Zach, who is the singer of the band, he was just distraught, and he was obviously, you know, pretty heated about everything that went down because there were some good things happening for the band at the time, and it was just obviously a bad timing for everything. Zach would come in every day. He would stay in the hospital with me and hang out with me, and even the other members would come when they were able to. It's really, a band is really like a family anyways, and that's what we were. We were a band for like 5 years. So we were a close group of friends. And, sadly, it did deteriorate the band. They tried to go on and played a few shows while I was in the hospital, but Zach always told me it just never felt the same, and I can understand that, you know, because him and I helped run a lot of things for that band. But everything works out. You know, you can't complain about that, and everyone's doing their own thing. So Zach right now, he's doing his own solo project, and he's doing phenomenal. He has his own publishing deal. So I'm really stoked for him. He's doing really well. So other than that, you know, I still talk to everyone else, but Zach and I have always been the closest. So.
Sure. Philip Bloom is our guest right here on Anything Goes on KCR College Radio and KCRLive.com. And, you know, Philip, even before Blue Sky Reality formed, I know music has kind of always been an integral part of your life. Specifically with the recovery process from the accident, how has music helped that process?
Well, I mean, it's always something that has made me smile and made me happy. I mean, my whole life I've always been a part of music, as you said, and it's just, you know, having something to look forward to when you're in a moment of where you can't move and you're stuck in a hospital bed for the first 3.5 months. I was just stuck laying there, and like the only thing that really kept my calm was really buying music in the hospital on iTunes and being able to listen to the music I wanted to. It really kept my cool because there's a lot of times, especially on heavy meds, where you just lose yourself and you need something to keep you sane. And, I feel like everyone's gone through some kind of thing where they realize that there's something that works for them that keeps them sanity somewhat, you know? And music has always been that for me, whether it's listening to my own music or writing down ideas. I mean, I was still writing music while in the hospital. I wrote a bunch of songs and stuff. But it's always been part of me, and I can't see that changing anyways. And if anything, it's just been stronger since.